So most people think if you want to embrace from scratch cooking, you are going to spend hours and hours in the kitchen. But the truth is you can make wholesome, delicious, fast, and easy from scratch breakfast in under 30 minutes. So today I'm going to share with you my 3 go-tos. These are on repeat every single week in my kitchen. It's a way I can nourish my family quick, fast, and in a hurry in the mornings, and we kind of go all out on the weekends. But if you're looking for some fun, easy, you know, from scratch wholesome breakfast ideas in under 30 minutes, I even think, I'm not gonna time it or anything, but I'm pretty sure I could do a couple of these in just 15 minutes, but to give myself a buffer for this video, I thought I would say 30 minutes. So if you're looking for good from scratch breakfast ideas, let this be your video. Tried and true, been cooking these for years. If you are ready to hop in your kitchen and make these delicious, easy, from scratch breakfast in under 30 minutes, put your hair up, y'all, because we are about to do it. And if you're looking for some fun from scratch dinner ideas, I've got my weekly lineup and an ebook down below you can grab for just $1. So do yourself a favor and make dinners a little easy this week too. Oh, by the way, I'm Jill, and I'm so glad that you've landed here in Jill's From Scratch Kitchen. Just thought I'd do a little intro and let you guys know here. This channel is all about bringing back the tradition of cooking dang good meals with humble ingredients that do not take forever, while some of the recipes do. For the most part, we make from scratch easy and attainable. And I'm not sure if you noticed this or not, but usually my hair is a mess in a bandana. My house is always on the messy side. I'm full of tattoos and piercings, and we definitely don't fit inside that curated homemaker box, and that is exactly what I love, because from scratch cooking, homemaking, homesteading can look like whatever you are. So don't let anyone put you in a box that you do not belong in. And so welcome. I'm glad you found the wild side of my kitchen, and I can't wait to cook with you this morning. So the first easy 30-minute breakfast that we're making is a skillet veggie and egg hash. Now you could add any sort of protein you wanted to this to beef it up a little, but if you're really just looking for simplicity, you guys, let this be it. I'm gonna grab some onions that we have here on the shelf. We're going to run out to the garden real quick. Got my onions. We're gonna run out to the garden real quick, grab some peppers, grab some garlic from the pantry. We're just gonna saute up all of our vegetables, cube up some potatoes. This is going to be really where that 30 minutes comes into play, is just prep, right? Chopping your vegetables, getting your potatoes roasted. And we're gonna throw it all in, of course, a cast iron skillet, you guys, and it's gonna be so, so easy. So we harvested our sweet potatoes this week over on our farm channel. If you want to check out this, I will put it below. So I'm just gonna grab a couple of these. I need to test them first to make sure that they're actually ready, but we'll take some of the small ones and cut them up for our potatoes and grab our peppers. All right, that's probably good. So one of my favorite things about from scratch cooking is that it can look different for so many of us. So my family, we live on a farm here in Arkansas. We grow about 80% of our family's food needs, and we grow year round. So I am going to always have vegetables curing in our basement or just fresh right outside I can grab. But the great thing about this kind of skillet veggie and egg hash is you can use whatever vegetables you want. We just did a big harvest of sweet potatoes, so I'm using that. You could do regular potatoes. Maybe you're growing a lot of kale. We're actually probably gonna throw in some freeze-dried kale from last year's garden, but you can use and modify this however you see fit based off of the ingredients that you have available to you, which I love that, because you don't even have to make a trip to the grocery store. It literally can just be whatever you have available. Use that and turn it into a breakfast hash. All right, we gotta get to chopping vegetables. Fun fact too, that if you were to just harvest a sweet potato from the ground and cook it, it actually isn't sweet at all. It'll be very, very starchy. It's not until it's cured that all the sweet flavors start to develop. So, fun little fact. Just going through, cutting the tops off of the peppers. Pretty cool that I grew that, yeah? Just doing a quick little quarter on these. Got a few more to go. All right, now that our prep is done, we are going to choose our cast iron. I'm actually gonna start this in like a little pie dish, kind of like what I would cook a quiche in. And then I'm gonna saute down the sweet potatoes and the onions, throw everything else in, and then we'll actually probably finish it off in the oven. So right now, I'm just gonna throw some good old butter in here and get it working. I probably got mine on. I like to keep it on low. Nice, healthy dose, you guys. Don't be skimping on the butter. So you could certainly just cook all your veggies down, crack your eggs, throw a lid on it, and finish it in, you know, on top of your stove. For me, I know those potatoes, because I chose a sweet potato, they're gonna take a little bit longer to break down. So I'm actually just gonna pop it in my oven at 425 degrees. I'm gonna throw in some of my freeze-dried kale. So I'm just really trying to soften the sweet potatoes. You could even make this so much easier on yourself. Boil your potatoes the night before. You could throw in a ground pork, ground beef, ground turkey. We are just keeping this a little veggie and egg hash, but there are so many spin-offs you can do of this easy, simple, from scratch breakfast. All right, added in a healthy dose of our freeze-dried kale. We have plenty of this. It's gonna reconstitute just lovely. You can see our onions are getting a nice little brown to them, which is kind of when I'm gonna decide when to crack these eggs and just throw it in the oven to slow cook. So I've got this sauteing on the stove. We're gonna move into the second easy from scratch breakfast in under 30 minutes. You guys, this one is way under 30 minutes. I'm calling it the 15-minute pancake, okay? One of the things I love about from scratch is so many of these dry mixes for biscuits, pancakes, pie crust, a lot of those things you're just gonna find in your pantry. You know, if you've got flour, salt, baking soda, baking powder, maybe some butter, you've probably got all of the essentials to make something and whip something up really, really quickly. So that kind of eliminates the need to buy a pre-made box mix, which has a lot of different additives that we don't really love around here, okay? So we're whipping up a favorite 15-minute pancake. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, my fridge is a little scarce right now as far as the fresh fruit to top it with, so I'm probably gonna pull out some frozen blackberries from the garden back earlier in the summer. Could add some powdered sugar, some honey. You can make it as simple or as elevated as you want it. Regardless though, we're still under 30 minutes on this one, so let's gather our stuff and get started. Alright, so we are first going to just mix up the dry ingredients. We've got about 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Looks about right. Grab about a tablespoon of baking powder. 2 tablespoons of cane sugar. And a little bit of salt.
What is going on in here?
Hot Mess Express, baby.
It smells good.
Hot Mess Express. All right, we got our dry ingredients in a bowl. Now we're gonna mix up our wet ingredients in a bowl. We're gonna do about 1.25 cups of milk. Maybe. Let's see how good I am here. Ooh-wee. Maybe I should have got a bigger bowl. All right. I'm gonna do a couple teaspoons of vanilla. You can never have too much vanilla in my opinion. All right. We're gonna crack an egg. And I'm gonna add about 1/4 cup, give or take, of some melted butter. Woo! Give that a stir. And then kind of like when you're making pasta, you want to like create a little hole in your dough, in your dry ingredients to pour the egg in. That's pretty much what we're doing here. Just creating a little bitty section in the middle.
Let's see what we're working with here.
Oh yeah. I definitely don't recommend doing this with a fork. Maybe get yourself a spatula. But I already dirtied up one. And since Mama's doing the dishes, this is what we're sticking with.
I'm so proud of you.
It's come a long way. Alright, so the key with any sort of dough related anything is finding that sweet spot. You want to break up all the flour and stuff like that, but you don't want to overwork it. What that sweet spot is, I wish I could tell you. You're just gonna have to feel it. Look at it. But I have a tendency to always overwork, which means my pancakes are gonna be flat. All right, I think I'm gonna call it. Now you could do this in a cast iron. We actually have a griddle and we love it. We really only use it for pancakes. So I'm gonna grab it down real quick, get it heating at 350, and then we'll just plop these on. Let's add a little salt. Oh yeah, look at that sizzle. So you want bubbles to get to the surface. That's how I've been taught. Woo!
Those look so good.
Woo! Yeah! Look at that!
The perfect flip.
And I did it one-handed, am I wrong? I got a little something extra on the hip. Got a little something extra on the hip. Give Mom a kiss. You gonna eat one of those pancakes?
Say yes, ma'am.
Yummy.
With some honey.
Yummy. Woo, buddy. Look at that. Now, another super fun, easy breakfast idea I make every single week is some sort of variation of a muffin. Now, I'll be honest, my kids really enjoy these as an afternoon snack more than breakfast, but this is really, really great. We'll do a coffee cake. This one is a pumpkin chocolate chip. We've done blueberry and cheesecake. Literally, sky's the limit. These take more time to bake than they do prepping and making the actual batter, but muffins are another go-to staple if you want an easy from scratch meal instead of buying something in a box. So as much as I would love to doll up this whole plate of pancakes, you guys, I'm a busy mom, and so this is my kids' breakfast for tomorrow. So instead of ruining this whole plate of pancakes just to show you guys how pretty we make it, we're going to take one and we're gonna decorate it the way I would fix this up for my kiddos. So one, obviously stack a few pancakes. Two, you have to have melted butter. Now, I was gonna make a homemade whipped cream, but I decided not to do that in the sake of just making it easy. So a little dollop of butter never hurt anybody. And I think I'm gonna go in with the powdered sugar and then drizzle some honey. I pulled a couple frozen blackberries from the freezer. Which I think make this the perfect masterpiece. So if I can get restaurant quality in a matter of 15 minutes with some humble ingredients I found in my pantry, you guys, I am in. Now imagine this just stacked with all of these amazing pancakes. Just look at it. This is beautiful, simple, easy, from scratch at its finest. Now, so this doesn't go to waste, I'm gonna call the baby in here and the husband and let them just go to town. So now we're gonna move into our third and our last from scratch easy breakfast in under 30 minutes, which has to be the beloved breakfast burrito. If you have hungry bellies to fill in the morning, there is nothing better than a breakfast burrito. When I think of a filling, easy, fast breakfast, I think a breakfast burrito has to be at the top of your list. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little chaotic in my house, so we need fast and easy things we can whip up. So you could certainly make your own homemade tortillas. Typically when I batch make homemade tortillas, we will set aside to make breakfast burritos, and then I love to freeze them. So it's a great thing that you can kind of batch prep on the weekend, pop it in the freezer, and then pull from it during those busy weekdays. But just for the sake of making this so easy, we're not gonna make our tortillas from scratch. So technically, I think we can still call it a from scratch breakfast, but we are gonna saute up some onions, we're gonna throw in some ground pork, and we're just gonna load this up with eggs and cheese and garnish with a delicious salsa. But whatever you have on hand, that's what you're gonna use. Go into your pantry, pull out stuff in your refrigerator or meat in the freezer, and that's how we're going to build our breakfast tacos. So each of ours are probably gonna look a little bit different, and that's what I love the most. So let's get busy sauteing up some onions and some other veggies for our breakfast burritos. So I got some oil in my pan. You want it hot because when you put those onions in, you want it to sizzle. If you're gonna add garlic, wait. Garlic burns really bad and then it turns bitter. So we've got a healthy dose. Woo! Actually, not gonna do all those since we're not making a whole batch. So I want a nice caramel. Let those saute for a minute. Not actually like 1 minute, but let them saute for a hot second. And I'm gonna whip up, we'll do this, we'll add in some ground pork, we'll season it, then we will take this off, and we're gonna kind of build our burrito in layers. So then I'm gonna scramble an egg with some milk. Yeah, that's what Mama's gonna do.
Somebody wants his screen time.
It's always loud, y'all. I'm gonna add a little splash of milk in here.
What's the correct measurement of a splash?
When you hear it splash, you're done. I didn't go to culinary school, y'all. Alright, some salt, some pepper. I actually think I'm gonna do like a fajita seasoning. I don't know, it just seems right. Because we're not making our big batch right now, I'm only gonna do half of this. I think what I'm most excited about for this breakfast burrito is actually what we are topping it with. It's gonna be good. All right, all of our components are prepped, and now we get to build the most epic breakfast burrito. So I'm first gonna start with all of the meat we just cooked and do a healthy little layer. You guys, don't be afraid to pack these in, okay? Right. Now I'm gonna shred some cheese. I'm gonna throw my egg on top. The idea is that we're kind of melting that cheese there. Ooh, there we go. Y'all, it's already looking so good. All right, and then of course, this is what I was the most excited about. We can all of our tomatoes here on the farm, obviously, and we turn them into all sorts of stuff. So we had made this delicious salsa a while ago, and I'm going to add a healthy dose inside, but then we're also gonna top it too. Wow, it smells so good, you guys. I'm not even gonna act like I know how to properly fold a burrito because I always stink at this part, but we're gonna try. Mm-hmm. Woo! And a little drizzle over top. You have it. Wow. She looks good. Well, friends, we've covered everything from sweet to savory, but the best part is these were all from scratch, made in less than 30 minutes, right in my humble little messy kitchen. And if I can whip out from scratch breakfast for my family, trust me, you can too. It's nothing fancy. I threw a bunch of stuff in a skillet. I stuffed a burrito. I threw some dry ingredients together and made, you know, some pancakes really, really quickly. So I hope this just kind of inspires you that from scratch can be simple, can be easy. Use what you have on hand. I remember when I first started baking and even cooking from scratch, I would go to Pinterest, I'd find a recipe that was 1,000,000 ingredients long, and of course, none I had at my house. So I would load up in the car, I'd go to the grocery store, I'd buy everything on the list. By the time I came home, I was exhausted before I'd ever even started. And so I realized that if I want to make from scratch attainable for me, I need to first start with what I already have on hand. It's going to be a quick win. It's going to be super easy. So these 3 recipes I shared with you today can all be modified based off of what you can find in your own humble kitchens. So if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Well, now it's time to eat. This is probably the best breakfast burrito I've ever made.
Oh, I'm sure.
I saved half for you.
I'm hoping you did.
Wow, this tastes like a dinner for breakfast. That sausage is even better than I thought. Wow. 10 out of 10.